In the time after King Arthur, the master plan. In the early stages of a war, victory usually favors the invader and his two greatest generals, surprise and momentum. Such was the case with the invasion of Europe, with the invaders' discipline versus the defenders' panic. So the invaders had the advantage now, but the war was far from over. Many struggles lie ahead, but the invaders have a master plan, and it is gradually becoming clear. The invaders have succeeded in dividing the enemy while penetrating deep into the continent. The enemy has retreated to well-fortified castles after defeat. Why should they waste men on the battlefield when they can be safe behind the stone walls? Let the invader starve and freeze, they say, for he has long outrun his supply lines and winter is approaching. But Percival's master plan calls for the using of the winter as a shield for resupply and regrouping. For battles are not fought in winter, but, and this is a very big but, he must take some castles to shelter his troops. At this moment, Thul's navy, having played their role in the invasion, now return to home ports in Thule, Scandia, and Britain, where the harvest has just been brought in. Half is to go to men overseas. They are to be fed and resupplied via Europe's great rivers, the Dvina, the Vistula, the Seine, the Elbe, and the Rhine. The great ships of Thule leave with their cargoes just before the northern ice freezes. On the continent, winter will come somewhat later, but when it does, the ships will be trapped in Europe and will have to fight their way to summer in Vienna. But from the Adriatic, Gunnar and Gilane's ships will enter the Danube and head into the continent, thus bringing the power and usefulness of their navies against the enemy's heartland. Ern's men prepare to winter in Andelkrag in northern Saxony, while Ern himself takes some of his best with him to aid in capturing castles in southern Gaul. For a time now, the invaders have to scrounge for food, but soon the peasants come forth with stores of food that they had artfully hidden from their conquerors. As for taking castles, there are also strategies in the master plan which have such illustrious names as the Mole, the Termite, the Undermine, and the Flood. This particular castle, continues the king, has a secret escape tunnel. Of course, the end of the tunnel is not completely dug through, lest it become an entry tunnel into the castle. Only a few feet of earth remain to be dug at the end of the tunnel, but as you can well imagine, one might dig and search for it forever if he did not know where to start. However, we know that the end is to come out behind that clump of trees over yonder. So get some diggers and open the tunnel's end, and we'll invade the castle from the inside and totally surprise the Visigoths. We'll play it for all it's worth by pretending that we are to enter by magic, The tunnel end is dug out, and the Visigoths wonder why the invaders seem to be retreating and abandoning the taking of the castle.
Meanwhile, I wear one of Merlin's magic-looking cloaks and stand in front of the castle, stating that the invaders have the power to become quite invisible and pass through solid stone walls.
The Visigoths have heard of Merlin and anxiously look down at the bases of the mighty stone walls. A friend is made. Returning from victory at Joyous Gard, Perceval again comes upon Theodoric, leader of the Ostrogoths. However, he is about to be hanged by people of the village.
What has this man done?
Well, nothing yet, but he leads a tribe who will pillage and burn our towns.
This is not so, and I so command that you spread the word that I guarantee their safety. As a student of history, I tell you that these are peaceful Ostrogoths, not marauding Visigoths, although similar to them in appearance. Look at them closely. They bring women, children, and equipment for homesteading. They are settlers, not raiders. Fierce, yes, but only if you mistreat them. In the knightly code, disrespect must be earned. It cannot be merely presumed. The Ostrogoth, like many of you, has been displaced from his lands. Now untie them and let them go forevermore.
The Ostrogoths are unbound, and Theodoric regains his dignity and composure after being given back his sword.
I am Perceval, commander of the allied forces of Iceland, Ireland, Britain, Thule, Scandia, and Jutland.
And I, Theodoric, am king of the Ostrogoths. The remainder of my legions are but a day behind. A likely mistake has been made, which has now been corrected. For this I cannot thank you enough. Long ago we disowned our barbaric cousins, the Visigoths, and now, at last, we find friends to whom we can honorably state allegiance. From this day on, in thanks for saving our lives, my forces are your forces, for your cause is now our cause.
At last, the allies skirt Cisalpine Gaul and enter Austria, the common land of the Huns, Visigoths, Turks, Moslems, and other assorted and unnamed hordes of Mongols streaming in from China. The Ostrogoths make good progress in Italy, and thereby save the allies' rear and right flank from attack. But dangerous times are ahead, for the enemy has been pushed back into his own homeland. Some minor battles are fought and won along the way. But it is well known that the enemy strength has been concentrated in the heart of the country. Unfortunately, the Allies will be outnumbered there 5-1.